What up, y'all? What it do? What it is? This is the Peace Dealer. Let me adjust this one more time. Grill your boy. Come on. Grill your boy. Grill your boy. Happy Saturday, one and all. This is the Peace Dealer. Welcome to another weekly live astrology horoscope for the week of the 17th of June, 2018. The moon is right now on Venus and the North Node. So I definitely like to, yes, Nebula Club, not even gonna lie. Look, I'm like, damn, I'm supposed to go live right now. But it's all good. Definitely right now, there is a very, 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 very powerful understanding of where your heart is taking love for you. So let's personally take the time right now to just kind of calm your energy down. And I want you to hold in your mind's eye the vision of what love is for you. What do you, not what you want to manifest for love, right? And when I say love, I don't really mean like romantic love, but the vibrancy, fun. There we go. That's a better word. Right now, Venus and the North Node and the Moon are establishing your inner child's version of fun. So what does it look like for you? What is it? What do you see? Okay. This very much so is important because it's definitely going to be manifesting over the next few days. So what do you see? Breathe this down to your diaphragm in terms of satisfaction and breathe out gratitude. You kind of focusing on this is definitely going to add a very powerful level of alignment since the nodes are being activated right now and the experiences you walk and step into are very profoundly gonna match a lot of how well you're representing these desires you have. So once again, I just kind of want to illustrate. There's something very powerful happening right now, now as we speak. Before we talk about next week, which is also going to be very powerful indeed. This is the last week of Cancer season. So we're shifting into Cancer the 21st, and the 20th is the last day, okay? So with the moon, that'll be in Scorpio. They're really hardcore understandings of how you personally, as we'll talk about tomorrow, harness this courage. Like I said, Venus in Cancer was a whole lot of, interesting. Yeah, Venus in Cancer was a whole lot of, how do I say, making it through the battlefield of people's disgusting and ugly opinions about you that we know damn well you really don't care about, as much as you may catch feelings or feel what they felt. And if you have made it out alive, right, you are finally in a position where you're really going to be able to gain profound victory. What's up, LS Cherry? And this victory, if anything, is definitely going to encourage a greater sense of courage in your heart. So just like Potato Dono has said, we made it. Okay, we have totally made it. And it's definitely, you know, it's definitely powerful because how you really build this courage is going to determine how you stand firm in your own boldness. All right. Um, Peanut Brittle, let me answer that question for you right now. That guy is not the one. You are the one. Whenever any of you want to ask if someone that you're with or you're seeing is the one, you have to remember you're the one. You're always the one. All right. 9 times out of 10, you are always the one. The whole notion of somebody being the one for you is a myth and it's an illusion. But you are the one that someone is looking for. And if you remember that, this will definitely help every single connection that you have the opportunity to make. But other than that, you know what I mean? This last week of Gemini is here to give you profound epiphany that is going to add upon a whole season's worth of epiphany that you've had concerning truth in your life, concerning meaning in your life, and concerning stepping out of this supernatural evolution. Okay. One thing that I want to bring to your awareness now that we're going to step into Cancer season is it's very much so a battlefield. You know what I mean? Some people have been open about what they think, and you know they have definitely expressed forth their thoughts. Now they're going to start projecting how they feel, and I'm not going to lie, that's not always the best or coolest things because people's emotions can be pesky. People's emotions can be outright disgusting. It's I akin it to toxic sludge that is not always cleaned in a sense where it's worth almost being shared. And yes, Emily, I am clipping my neck. I try to do it. I try to do it all discreet because I can't have you Virgos like, you know, saying, ew, here comes nail. So, you know, I had to just kind of do it below the scenes. I'm using a toenail clipper too to cut my fingernails. Let's just pretend that's not embarrassing, but it is what it is. There is definitely a theme that's going to activate as soon as we step up in Cancer season that I would really like to invite you to really embrace as it sparks now. First of all, one of the themes is definitely the whole notion behind, you know, tapping into who you are deep in your soul versus your conscious mind. And what I mean by that is, of course, you know, there's certain identifications that your conscious mind has brought up until now that your soul does not always identify with. In other words, let me even make this more simple. Your subconscious, unconscious self versus your conscious self. What this last week of Gemini is going to allow you to feel into is how much more powerful your subconscious has evolved over the past 6 months. When I talk about the supernatural evolution, I'm really talking about your subconscious. And definitely I'm gonna keep clipping. Just like Dory keeps swimming. But yes, it's your subconscious mind that has grown more intelligent. Some of you are realizing that you can have a conscious connection with somebody, right? Your sun's trine or sextile, but your subconscious does not fuck with them, or your subconscious does not like them. Maybe your moon doesn't get along with their sun, or your moon and their moon doesn't get along, or your subconsciouses get along, but your consciouses don't get along, okay? This is a dynamic that's gonna be so much more powerful in a sense where you're gonna have to make very important decisions that take this into mind over the next 6 months as you raise your conscious awareness so that your conscious awareness in this material realm can match up and catch up with your subconscious genius. Okay. So thank you, Brooke Jones. I'm gonna just start grooming myself live now when I talk. I'll just get the brush and start brushing my hair and everything. I even put on some chapstick before I came on, but it's all good. Um, I hope this concept makes somewhat of sense to you, because it's like, this is going to be pretty interesting, especially if you're a water sign. You kind of already let your subconscious have you go with the flow, but it's like your soul is going to be outright leading the show. And you really, really, really want to listen powerfully to where your soul is guiding you, because it may be completely at odds with what your conscious may be aware of, whereas your subconscious is going to be so tuned in. So you're definitely going to be feeling, I'm getting you ready for all this Cancer energy. Like, a lot of the opposition in the grand water trine is going to make your emotional body, your energy field evolve through this acknowledgement. And the subconsciouses of yourself and others are going to really affirm and establish who they are to you, so that you can begin 6 months of integration once again. Okay. Um, it's just not always going to be the easiest. I'm saying this now because some of you have been outright fighting your subconscious, where your conscious wants to do something, but your subconscious is holding you up doing a whole nother. In some rare cases, they will be in alignment. So, some of you have your sun and your moon trine or sextile. For those of you who are more yin yang apprentices, this may be more of an issue. Okay. Um, this is nothing bad. This is actually just more calibration, because remember, we just got the Lucy drive in our system. And now that the Lucy drive is integrated in our body, this quantum knowledge of ourselves, now it's merging. It went into Gemini and it uploaded into our mind and mental state. And now it's integrating with how we feel throughout this period. And there's going to be a whole lot that comes out about shadow aspects of your subconscious, okay? And about things that you may normally keep hidden. Of course, because it's meant to be hidden. Like, those people who dig in your 8th house and your 12th house, and then they bring up bad habits, and then they use that against you, right? In an effort to try and help you or to just judge you, okay? That's false light. The reason why it's your 8th, 4th, and 12th that's hidden is because it's meant to be hidden. It's meant to be between you and the divine. All right. It's different if you allow someone in. Like, if you go get therapy or if you go get help and you allow someone in your 4th house, you allow someone in your 8th house. Okay. What false light does, another example of false light, is a lot of this false, this fake motivation that is moving around, as far as like encouraging people to, be so much tougher. Oh, stop complaining. Oh, stop being super lazy. Push yourself, push yourself. It means well, but some of you are water dominant. Some of you are air dominant, and you're not meant to push yourself. Does that make sense? That advice works well for fire. You know what I mean? Fire sign is gonna bring the motivation. Fire is gonna bring the spark. But not all of you are water. Not all of you are fire. You know what I mean? Majority of you are not fire. So, things like that. When I say false light, when I say fake motivation, I mean things that appear to want to help you, but ultimately just kind of put you in a box and don't necessarily acknowledge your growth process. A lot of what Cancer is about is nurturing, incubation, just chilling, just letting things come up to be felt. Just like Chad Taylor said, everyone has become a lifestyle coach overnight, but it's not even for the right reason. A lot of people are using it to control others ultimately, especially when people just join fads and trends out of meaning well too. You know what I mean? They want to join the wave. And it is what it is. I'm 5'11", 6'1", for the friend you asking for. But yes, that's what I'm saying when I say false life. The dark forces don't come as evil demons that are like, oh, we're going to ruin your life and deceive you. Okay, they always infiltrate things that are seemingly good. They're going to infiltrate the church. They're going to infiltrate the astrology community. They're going to infiltrate the weight loss motivation trend. Okay, it's everything that needs to be done just so that you stray off your path. Okay, nothing wrong with being caught on that wave. If this is not what you know you're meant to do, don't get distracted. That's really all I'm saying in this sense. You are in a period where you're smashing through like never before. I got one more finger. You're smashing through like never before. Old gender roles, old stereotypes, old roles, period. And yeah, shout out to Jaden Smith. He's definitely the truth. This is powerfully allowing you to stay true to you. And this is how you know it's working. Nobody's telling you to be some hated rebel, but the whole facet of this Saturn conjunct Pluto opposition to Cancer is literally saying that you're if you're walking this right, there is a fundamental aspect of yourself that has to and will clash with the popular majority. Okay, you're going to have an unpopular opinion. There's certain things you're going to believe that are not the most popular, not because they're right or wrong. Say it with me. Not because they're right or wrong. See, this is what that Capricorn opposition wants to manipulate you. Just think about any Capricorn person who is not operating in integrity. So I'm not talking about you Capricorns who operate in integrity, although some of you do this too. I'm talking about the Capricorns who don't operate in integrity. If you notice with that energy, that they're so obsessed with being right. It's like, no, I'm right. It's a cardinal sign thing. If you notice, Libra, Capricorn, and to a degree, Aries and Cancer, they're always right. And that's why they can be more stubborn than fixed signs sometimes. And I'm talking about cardinal signs who don't have mutable energies and don't necessarily operate in integrity. Not all you cardinal signs, okay? This whole obsession with being right is being revisited with Pluto and Capricorn, to where sometimes cardinal signs will manipulate you, right? Or anyone who uses this cardinal energy wrong, they'll try and manipulate you by being right. They'll look at things you're not doing right, all right? Or they'll sell, oh, this is right, this is the right thing. And just because it's the right thing, they act as if that gives them onus to control what you do. Oh, you're wrong for doing this, so you're this. Like, it's always going to be a cardinal sign that slaps a label on you, like, oh, you're a loser, or oh, you're lame, or oh, you don't know anything. That's a cardinal flaw, because cardinality is so wrapped up in identity, they forget they're multidimensional. This is something that mutable signs, you don't have to tell them. Mutable signs know they're everything. It's like you cannot chain a mutable sign to one identity, because we're not just one person. We go with the flow, right? So you can change, right? So you don't want to be so right that you forget that's the last thing that matters. Being right is just a parameter. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about being true. And this is what is so difficult because a lot of you are sacrificing being true in an effort to fall for people's trap to make sure they're right. Like, really listen, especially this week. A lot of people who you feel care about you, they don't care about you. They only care about how right you can be. Because if you're right according to their system, you're the person they want you to be, not who you truly are. What Gemini season is teaching you is that the truth of who you are is ultimately threatening to anyone who's not real. Okay? It's not about being right or wrong. It's about being real. You can be right and still fake. Okay? You can be right and still fake. You can go into a room of people and be politically correct and say everything the right way and not offend a single person, but you have made zero emotional connection to anyone because you weren't being real. You didn't say what you really wanted to say. You didn't say what you were supposed to say. You said what you think is right to say. Nothing true about that. Nothing real about that. And this is what has corrupted societies around the world, to where people who are real, to where people who do keep it true, Aries, Gemini, Virgo, Cancer, these are the energies that have been suppressed because, oh, it's not politically correct. Oh, it's not the right thing to say. When all of that is irrelevant, it's supplementary. It has its place. It has its place. But the moment you make it the priority over being your real self is the moment you have already failed, to where now you have people who won't be their true selves because they're afraid. And a lot of this week is going to separate who is afraid and who has the courage to speak their truth. Okay? And yes, I said Virgo is real. Virgo is very real. Virgo is only fake when they choose not to believe in themselves because Virgo has the Neptune oppositions. So there's a lot of delusional Virgos out there. But there's a lot of real Virgos out there too. When a Virgo doesn't sugarcoat themselves, when a Virgo does not fall for deception from others, they're very real. They're one of the realest, actually. So keep that in mind. Fear not your true self. I say this because some of you have been brainwashed to believe that who your true self is not right. And it's not like people walked up to you and they said, oh, your true self is wrong. But you've been introduced to programming, you've been introduced to ideologies, you've been introduced to subtle dynamics that slowly chips away your belief in yourself. All right. That's why everyone who's isolating, yeah, self-criticism is a Virgo's downfall. Everyone who's isolating themselves from the BS, everyone who's separating themselves, everyone that's actually, you know what I mean, staying true, they're able to cultivate this and bring this out. All right. I want to also revisit the whole notion that you're smashing through old rules. This is the last time that this happened was when the revolutionaries, you know, decided to say, screw England. We're not living by those old rules. We're not living by those priorities. We are not products or property of Europeans, right? Where that's not that, even though that's right, that's not real to who we are. We are revolutionaries. And due to those revolutionary actions, which were wrong, it was wrong. There was nothing right about it. Why? Because there was war. But they made it true. And now I'm here in America speaking this to you. Okay. So really keep that in mind. Like, a whole lot of how you psychically maintain your sovereignty is putting into great focus a lot of how we're stepping into our power. And just like the revolutionaries of old broke free of colonial control, there are revolutionaries standing up now that are ready to break free of the control that America has put over some of its citizens. Although this is not just America, this is going to be all over the world. Everything that will be happening in America is going to be happening all over the world, because this whole illusion of peace and the whole lie of having borders and territories, this is not what we're bringing into the age of Aquarius. As you can see, they're slowly breaking down. All right. We're heading into a period where I don't know about having a new world order, but that whole notion of people being separated by nationality and having borders that kind of block people from traveling all around the world and really living and connecting, that's not going to last. That's why it's being brought up, so that it could be addressed. But, we're not going to experience this in 10 years, very soon. So keep that in mind. The change starts with you. But when we talk about this week, a lot of how you are ready to brandish this sword of truth you have and speak it in the face of those who respect or don't respect you will have a lot to do with how deeply you truly believe in you and how deeply you truly believe in your truth. So another thing I mean by that primarily too is a lot of examining how this week assuredly you're going to every day this week experience mild tests where you have to take actions based on the true you versus the you that people think you are. And this will bring conflicts because some people will feel you're acting uncharacteristic to the you that they want suppressed. And I'm not talking about others, because this is not necessarily going to be some kind of evil battle, because you're simultaneously going to connect with people who acknowledge the true you. And anybody who you might not necessarily get along with, you're opening the opportunity to get along with other people who see you for who you truly are and not who people want you to be. Well, the reason why this is still a huge notion of this is the first three zodiac signs are that first quadrant. Greetings, Domina. The first three zodiac signs is the first quadrant of self before we step into the next quadrant, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. The second and third quadrant are going to have more to do with the other. So this is how we're passing this portal. And, the reason why this has everything to do with your supernatural evolution is because, just like Rocky said, I'm ready for war. And this is going to activate through battle. This is going to activate through initiative, through action, through your willingness to not only step up and stand up for yourself, but also to represent the fullness of who you are. So like I was saying before, we're starting this transit off with the moon in Leo, and the week ends with the moon in Scorpio. So the moon in Leo and the moon in Scorpio are going to illustrate intensity that builds all week. And a lot of what you envision, imagine, and also act off on creating is what will guide you in order to manifest the destiny of the truth of your love. So once again, like the moon is in Leo right now, on Venus and the North Node, and it's very powerful because every one of your ideas and thoughts, everything that you think and feel that is leading you towards what you want, what you desire, what gives you happiness and courage, This is a sneak peek of what's to come, especially by the eclipse period. We're going to achieve victory Leo season. We have to go through the battlefield of Cancer. And once again, you know what I mean? A lot of this has to deal with how powerful you are. Don't let the words of the weak stop you. The words of the weak suppress. The actions of the weak manipulate. The actions of the weak do what they can to deceive you with false light so that it seems like they're giving you advice, but they never acknowledge your own decisions. Everything or most of what you do is not good enough. It has to change. That's a lie. That is a lie. Only take that from people who are willing to acknowledge where you're coming from. It doesn't mean you're always right either. It just means in order for somebody to criticize your growth process, they have to be with you there growing in real life. You have a lot of these idiots out here who feel like they can criticize growth processes from afar, but they're not in your life for real. Nobody who is not in your life for real has the right to tell you how to grow, period. You're out here growing your garden, and other people want to watch from afar and be like, that's not how you grow that. I'm sorry, were they there watering those crops while you had to while it was raining? Were they there helping you during those dark periods where you had to go through stuff alone? No. So do they have the right to say any opinion about what you're doing? No. And only you can allow them to do that. The only reason why they'll be dumb enough to do so is because most of you let them do this. So if you've let them do this, hold your sacred space. Be authentic, like Serenity RN said. Don't let them do this. Keep watering. Okay, let me give you a news flash. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. So anybody that is expressing any kind of dislike for your process is delusional, is full of themselves, has their head up their ass, and really just wants to put you down. Because once again, I'm trying to help you identify who is on the light and who is on the darkness. Someone who has compassion in their heart is not going to just outright sugarcoat and say, oh, you're doing a great job, even if they think you're doing a bad job. They're going to look at what you're doing objectively, and they're going to offer compassion. Someone who cares is going to at least make the effort to try and help and then put their 2 cents. You're going to be surrounded by people who have certain feelings about what you're doing, about your growth process. And I need to remind you something. Just because a majority of people feel a certain way about what is not their business doesn't mean that you have to internalize it. Doesn't mean that you have to take it as fact, okay? There are a lot of things in this world that majority of people have loved that we all know is just straight crap, okay? And if we were gonna go off of popularity, and if we were gonna go off of numbers, obviously we can tell that that is the worst indication of how to tell whether something is true or not, okay? We lived in a time where a majority and the popular opinion was to enslave people, okay? Was to discriminate people. That was popular. Did that make it right? Did that make that real? Okay, there was a time where in Germany, it was popular. It was majority of people who were behind or okay the Holocaust movements before people realized what Hitler did. Did that make it okay? Okay, it was you were part of the minority if you didn't like that, and it was a battle that had to be fought in order to get that fairness up. So don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged if you're around these delusional people who are asleep, the regulars, okay, who refuse to acknowledge you for who you are, but instead judge you for who you want to be. Okay, it's It's the same with Gangnam Style. Okay, Gangnam Style was very popular. That's just proof right there that majority of people don't think for themselves. I just brought Oppa Gangnam Style into this. So, you know what I mean? Like, let this be a chip on your shoulder, only because a lot of this water energy, a lot of this emotional energy can be taxing. A lot of you are tired of this because you're feeling the vulnerabilities. You're feeling a lot of the negativity when it comes towards people who, I mean, only you can let yourself be completely affected by their opinion, not even fact, opinion that they quasi weave together as fact. And then people are so cowardly that they run to other people and try and get them to believe it so they believe it. Anybody that cannot stand firm on their own for truth they said, and they have to run to other people so that they can believe it as a group, is weak. It is weak. There is power in numbers, and there is a strategy and intelligence in banding people together. But if you need other people to believe in something you know versus just believing it when you say it, that's a strength of weakness. And some of you are allowing other people to gather other people to gang stalk you, and you think you're not strong because you stand alone. That's not true. You are very strong because you don't need to run away to other people. And just like Rose says, that's narcissism. Don't let these narcissists who, gain self-identity from their selfies and wearing the latest fashion trend, having their own cronies gas them up, make you feel any less than yourselves. And wear it if the shoe fits, because I'm not talking about anyone in particular. This is an ugly trend and fad that I hope dies very soon. As soon as someone's willing to expose it in this art, no more. You know what I mean? This is very much so that revenge of the nerds energy, except it's not nerds, it's awakened, enlightened, conscious people. I even hate to use the word awakened because I guess the better word is really just consciousness and awareness. Um, I hate that I have to say this, but you know, people are making it so easy to tell who is who. Do you know there's still people out here who use words like you're a loser? There are people who use words like you're a weirdo. First of all, if anybody ever calls you a weirdo, take it as a compliment because you clearly doing something right. And it's like a lot of people don't know they're exposing themselves because they have this false security in numbers of people who don't even really support them like they think they do. So keep that in mind. This message isn't necessarily different from what I've been saying because I'm preparing you for the very powerful war that's coming after the 20th. Once we step into Cancer season and you start to feel these vibes, super, super, super. Because we have Mercury that's finally in Cancer, it's allowing you to hear and listen closely to your subconscious. And when I said if anyone calls you a weirdo, I mean this more indirectly because once we step into Cancer season, once again, we're not necessarily talking about people who are just going to be in your face harassing you. I'm not saying that that can't happen. Read between the lines here. Are people saying this with their body language? Are people saying this with what they don't do? Do people feel like they can use you for your gifts, but when it comes to respecting you, that's nowhere to be found? This is your opportunity to take your power back. A whole season. You're going to take your power back from people who felt you were a certain way. The reason why this has to do with identity and character is because we're stepping into Cancer and Capricorn. Okay. Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, Libra. Their weakness is that they care so much about their identity, they will do anything to preserve it. Okay, so the weakness of mutable signs is, well, we don't have a weakness. I'm gonna just be real. But the weakness of mutable signs is we're not really the most we're not really the most fixed. It's our strength that could be our weakness. We could be too changeable, right? The weakness of fixed signs is they could be too fixed, which is also their strength. Sometimes they could be too stubborn to where they hate change. The weakness of cardinal signs is that they care way too much about their image. And this is where you can take your power back because attacks are going to be made on your image, right? Until you realize that that is literally the thing that matters least. Shout out to Rocky. As a Libra sun, I don't give a fuck. It's rare to find Libras that don't care about their image. It's very rare. It's rare to find Aries, Capricorn, Libra who don't. Cancer doesn't always. They keep it real. But if you ever find cardinal signs that don't really care, keep them. They're a treasure. Most cardinal signs care so much about their image, they won't hang out with you if they feel like your image will be a little bit tainted. And that's just the epitome of fake. Okay, so keep that in mind. Like a lot of reputation, a lot of legacy, a lot of these themes are changing. Just like Under the Mystic Moon said, tired of people using me for my gift. Make sure. I appreciate Cardi B though. Cardi B has an Aries moon and a Libra, so she kind of doesn't give a damn about her image. like she does, but she doesn't. And I respect that. But yeah, remember, keep that in mind. We are not concepts, right? And looking good is half the battle. Make sure you're aware of how you come across. But the moment that your image and the moment that your reputation becomes more important than other people, it's the moment you've lost because fake people have an image to maintain. Real people don't give a fuck. Period. It's a real person that'll throw that in the garbage and be like, oh, well, this is who I am. Hate it and love. Love it, love me, or leave me alone. That's the motto. Now that Venus is in Leo, as we'll talk a bit more about tomorrow. So I don't want to make this broadcast too long. This is really a simple week. We're going to get ready for a Mars retrograde soon, which will be retrograding on the 27th, right? So this next week is all about wrapping up Gemini season. And this whole Gemini season, you've really developed powerful truths about yourself. And once again, when I say that your subconscious is communicating, your subconscious is not bound by the shackles that might have been placed on your conscious mind. Like MK said, celebrate liberation. Some of your subconsciouses are base. Some of your subconsciouses are doing things or leading you to not do things that can make you feel like you're revisiting old habits, but you're evolving them. This is also having you feel positivity and negativity from others for opportunity to once again take your power back. Like that's the theme of Cancer season, my friends. From Cancer season to Capricorn season, take your power back. Every which way that you have given your power away is going to revisit itself so you can take it back. And this week is going to lead into that, where you step into Cancer season speaking your truth, all right, in the face of opposition and in the face of support, so that you affirm this truth throughout time. What was once dark will come to light. And a lot of this, powerful energy that is activating with this passionate sway is going to, over this week, especially from now till the 20th, wrap itself around in a completion as well as a way to understand the final version of your truth. Okay. So the first part of Gemini season was to realize that all these crazy synchronicities and all this crazy epiphanies you had are not just crazy ideas. It really is true. You really do need to embrace it. The next part of Gemini season was about seeing this truth reflected in other people who also affirmed it and also confirmed your suspicions by giving you their synchronicities. And now this last part of Gemini season is seeing this truth manifest in a sword that you can take into Cancer season. Okay? Now this, trust me, this is why I'm saying it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. You're taking your power back. The narrative, the deceptive narrative here is going to be like, oh, well, you're wrong, so A, B, and C. And it is your job to be like, I know I'm wrong, slash, with your truth. I know I'm wrong, or I don't care if I'm wrong. The truth is, slash. Does that make sense? Stop reasoning with people who don't respect you. You reason with people who respect you. You reason with people who want understanding. All right. Shout out to Phoenix Reigns, who always got Excalibur. You guys are allowing yourself to sit down with snakes. You guys are allowing yourself to sit down with cowards who don't want to tell you how they feel to your face. They want to present this fake narrative in essence so that it's as if they want peace, but they just want to control you. Take your power back. This could be in front of all sorts of people who act like they're cool just because you're related to them or just because you're friends with them, quote unquote friends with them. A lot is changing because once we pass through this opposition, nothing's going to be the same. Nothing's going to be the same. Shout out to Nas, who dropped the classic too. Great album if you haven't heard Nasir yet. So yes, Rocky, you getting me so hyped to fight. This is a real fight. You guys are going to have people who walk up to you and disrespect you, and you need to take your power back. You need to be like, excuse me, whoever you think I am, that's not who I am. This is who I am. Slash. And this is why this is going to be so great, because your subconsciouses are wise. Your subconscious has held you back because your souls have already been communicating. So this is what I mean. Once we go forward, it's like your souls have a context. So I just gave you like the logical view. Now I'm going to channel, okay? I'm going to channel. I'm going to go full fish card. Bear with me here. This might not make sense to the most of you. So your souls, your moon signs have been awake. They've been having their own conversation. You can go into a room and it's like your moon signs have a conversation that's totally different than whatever you think is happening consciously. And this subconscious dynamic is going to make itself a lot more known. The dark forces that have been possessing human vessels in order to limit you are going to make themselves more known. Kind of like when Sam in Supernatural realized, oh my gosh, the moment that I say Sam, Dean Winchester comments. I have chills all over my body. I just referenced Sam from Supernatural and Dean Winchester commented. So listen close to me, y'all. I'm not out here bullshitting. This is really real. This is just like when Sam realized that an angel, Azazel, had infiltrated human vessels to spy on this person ever since he was a kid. You might have been a kid not knowing you've been watched by extra dimensional entities. All right. So these shows like Supernatural, these shows like Sense8, they're going to take a lot more reality. They're going to be more in your reality. You're going to start seeing what has always been there. The key word isn't that it's just showing up. It's something that has always been there. You're going to be interacting with these extra dimensional entities directly Because now that you're going to be speaking your truth, you can call out those people who channel the energy and make them aware of uncharacteristic behavior that either isn't them or either they have embraced. And this is where you're going to find out certain people who act like they're not spiritual have been rolling with the dark for a while. Let me get dark with you here. There's a lot of people who will act like they don't believe in spirituality, but they will go home and do a satanic ritual. Okay? This is spiritual warfare. It's like an agent in the Matrix. Who are you giving your energy to? There's a lot of people who there's a lot of people who their God is money. And that's what they worship. They worship mammon. That's the spirit too. Materialism. They worship fame. They worship clout. They worship vanity. As you can tell, everything in this world is vanity. And for those of you who are breaking free from those false systems and programs, you're making yourself a target. Sharpen your sword so that when you are confronted, you don't do this wishy-washy sideways, oh no, no, I'm not like that now. You cut them with your sword and say, yeah, homie, I know you think I'm a loser because of ABC. I'm keeping the same energy. Does that make sense? That's it. And I'm being extreme because in most cases, it's not going to be juvenile where you're dealing with people who still think they're in high school and band up with cliques. This is going to be serious where you're going to be making major decisions that could affect money you come into, that can affect where you move yourself forward. I'm tired. This is coming from someone who walked away from a full ride in college, not even a full ride. Like I had tuition paid for me and I walked away from that to live my truth. And I have this YouTube channel as proof because I was supposed to delete the YouTube channel. I was supposed to get rid of this. All right. And that was when I chose that money is not my God. It's not that it wasn't about like money being my God, but that's when I chose, like, I know my path and the angels had my back. I didn't have money where I was going. And I learned that I did not even need money. Everything was taken care of because I made the decision to walk my path. Well, this is going to happen again. You're going to have to make hardcore decisions this week and next week to stand up for who you are. Okay. Some of your subconsciouses are deliberately having you and encouraging you to do things that are conventionally wrong just to show you, okay, I did it. What now? This is to help you see the gas planet that Saturn can be, and that just because something is an established rule, just because something is established in society, doesn't make it real at all. Okay, and sometimes the most right things can be the fakest if it's not true to you. So don't fight yourself, okay? Embrace yourself, embrace the light, embrace the dark. All right? If I do not help you deal with your own shadow, I have no right to criticize your shadow because you are not your shadow. Your shadow is a part of you. And we live in a society that wants to always point at people's shadow, point at people's darkness, but they never want to acknowledge the light. You can do good for 50 years of your life. The moment you do one thing wrong, everyone's going to sensationalize the wrong thing you've done. That's the nature of people, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you think people love to feed pigeons but try and shoot eagles? Because that's the evil nature of people. And I'm letting you know, you don't have to let that affect you. You can brandish your sword this week and slash at the falsities that people will say. There are people, here's the next channel message. People are awakening psychically. And because people are cowards, it doesn't mean that they're going to be any more courageous with their psychic evolutions. It's not like this supernatural evolution is just automatically going to repair flaws in people spiritually. If someone is a manipulative narcissist, then when they awaken their superpowers, they're going to be a super manipulative narcissist. If somebody is a kind, compassionate person, then the superpower awakening is going to make them a super kind, compassionate person. So you have people all over the world psychically projecting their feelings and thoughts, astral projecting. All right. Some of you pick up on this. Some of you are having telepathic conversations with different aspects of people, and you have to remember the multidimensional nature of this. Remember, Neptune in Pisces reminds you that none of this has to be physically real. When you have a telepathic conversation with somebody, they don't have to be here in real life telepathically thinking that too. There is a whole mental realm. There's an emotional realm. There's a mental realm we all connect to. And how you physically channel that in real life could be different from how it was given. That person doesn't even have to be conscious. What makes it delusional is if you take this Neptune energy and you try and force it to be real. If you get a telepathic message from someone and it's like, oh, that, and then you're trying to say, oh, that person told me this. That doesn't have to be real. You have to really embrace the multidimensional and abstract nature of Neptune. Let what is Neptune be Neptune. Let what is Virgo be Virgo. Okay, you'll know if it's real because it happens for real. So don't necessarily make it so that you limit it. If you make it so that it has to be real, be okay with just things being in your imagination. There's magic in that too. Don't try and ground the imagination to where it has to fit your box, or you'll be doing the same thing that I'm trying to warn you from protecting yourself from others. However, that's not to deny that the psychic experiences you're having. The next 6 months are meant for you to make sense of it so that you can finally, by Virgo season, know, oh, this is what it means when I feel this. Oh, this is what it means that I'm feeling this. It's your subconscious that is bringing advanced ways to integrate your psychic ability with your conscious mind, which is not easy because you're deliberately being deceived very subtly. The dark forces are giving you magic, but they're taking away belief, if that makes sense. Like, you're being shown the possibility that this can be happen, but there's small, minute details that deceive you in how this actually plays out. And only if you believe in yourself can you truly rise above this deception. Okay. Moving forward, the battle gets serious, guys. This is where we're going to see casualties. The certain people are not going to make it past Cancer season. Anyone who is not true, anyone who, and I'm not talking about what you do. I'm talking about everything that's happened for the past 6 years in the filler arc, and everything that has happened for the past 6 months. Anything that comes up towards you, take your sword and combat. That's not to say that you yourself are an innocent goody two-shoes, and you may have inadvertently done things that, once again, are not right. But it's not about being right. It's not about being wrong. You must have integrity and take responsibility for everything you've done. Take that sword of truth and say, yeah, I wasn't right. And I own up to what I did. See, where people mess up here is that they run away from responsibility. They try and deny it. They try and be like, well, I didn't do this, or, oh, I'm a lie about doing that, and then twist it. No, own up to it. See, people like to twist what you did to make it seem a certain way, but if you own up to it and you take that power back and say, yeah, I did that. This is what I had in mind, or yeah, I did that, but that doesn't mean what you make it mean. You're taking responsibility. You're taking your power back. That's really all Cancer season is for. Don't be threatened by falsity. Okay? The darkness in people's hearts are coming out. And you guys did the soul work. You guys opened yourself up vulnerably. You guys helped other people do the same thing. You guys really came to terms with deep parts of your shadow that are coming out. And don't feel guilty. I think some of you are feeling guilty that some of you are expelling dark, evil facets of yourself, and it's not really of you. Some of you are taking it in from other people, and that's not to say you don't have it yourself, but that's why I'm saying don't take it personally. Don't feel guilty for it. All you're meant to do is to be vulnerable and express it out. You know, I thought about killing you today. Premeditated murder. I'm going to say it so I can see how it feels. That's nothing that you could do if you suppress it. All right. So let this come up. Jupiter in Scorpio is expanding this, not for you to suppress it, so that you could clear it, so that you could look at it objectively, so that you can embrace what used to be insecure and make it your strength. Okay. As long as you're willing to do that, you'll be unstoppable. Trust me when I say, if this new moon is the week where everything changes, this week is where you're going to manifest the full merit of these changes. And every day this week will fill you with strength and power. You're going to manifest a lot more of what you've wanted, but don't be fooled. A lot of you are going to manifest connections, money, and spiritual gifts and realizations. Everything you're manifesting is not for you to just squalor in that same week. Think of it as resources that you're going to have to use strategically all through next month and next week. So this week you're going to gain and manifest a lot, and it's to prepare you. Don't manifest a crap ton of money and then spend it the next day. Save it. Don't manifest connections with people and then try and rush it. Take your time in getting to know them, because a whole lot of what is occurring now that Venus is on the North Node opposite Mars is finally completing soulmate arcs and lessons that have occurred, to the point where you and certain soulmate groups have been connecting subconsciously in the ethers, connecting through dreams, connecting subconsciously and telepathically. And now that we're stepping out of the portal of the spiritual realm, it's going to be made real over the next 6 months. And it's nothing new that happens. This happens every year. This happens every year. Just in case if you wonder why there's a halt, sometimes we have to go inside and then come out and share ourselves, and then go inside and then come out. So yeah, you know what I mean? You have to really be uncomfortable. You really have to be comfortable in your uncomfort. And that's going to be the greatest blessing of Cancer season, where a lot of things you might have inadvertently ran away from, what's up, Perfectly Imperfect, and might have felt weirded about, aren't really that weird. And in this life, there are going to be people who think they're slick and just kind of throw shade at you. And trust me, listen, my friends, like, you have to be hashtag petty. Shout out to hashtag petty gang, Leo and Gemini. You guys can learn a thing from Leo, Aries, and Gemini. In fact, Aries is a little bit too sensitive, because they won't play that. They will fight you immediately. Gemini and Leo can sit down and watch you hate them and have a conversation. Like, I know you hate me, honey. Let it out. You have it in your heart. Let it out. Let's be petty. Talk to me, okay? You guys need to be comfortable with people who dislike you and people who like you. And I don't mean this as so extreme as hate. I mean subtle. I mean people who will be in your presence and have dislike for you. Like, you have to be comfortable with that, because it's ultimately an opinion. And the way somebody sees something is not truth. But what I'm telling you to embrace is to still have your shield on. Whether you get love, whether you get dislike, you still have your own inner love. Alchemize all that. Okay? Phoenix Reigns said, yes, we petty Gemini will laugh in your face just to watch you get angrier. That's what I'm talking about. This is the psychological spiritual warfare that you're entering in. And now I'm not talking about somebody who cares about you, who's in your life, and who will not put up with your bullshit. Somebody who openly is in your face and says, I don't like that you do this. I don't like you when you're being this way. They can get away with that because they're in your life for real. They're putting an effort to see you grow. They're willing to share in your vulnerabilities. That person can let you know. Anyone else who don't even know you, anyone else who'd rather gossip about you and wants to act like they can psychoanalyze you because they have psychic ability and because they can read cards or because whatever, they're irrelevant. They're literally useless to the arc of your life. And you don't want to let such energies influence and affect you because this is all they have. The dark forces now only have lies and illusions. This is the turnaround. We're stepping into victory. Take your sword and slash it. This is my promise. If you and MK, thank you. Well, then they should stop spying. Some of you are feeling eyes on you, and you're not crazy. The whole notion of being spied on is as simple as people who send others to look at your social media profile and you can sense that you're being watched versus, and I promise you, there's so much more people ever since 1993, okay, after Saturn went out of Aquarius and started to move into Pisces, who can astral project and share dream time space with you. Oh, yes. Ow. And not only can they share dream time space with you, but there's so many people that can astral project and remote view. Remote viewing and astral spying is real. Remote viewing and astral spying is real. Sending tormentor spirits, all right? You hear those people who are in Santeria or who are in voodoo, they can send spirits after you so that they can constantly project negativity. This is nothing that should fear you. This is something that should give you courage because this is going to encourage you to stay spiritually on point. The whole notion of astral spying, all right, the whole notion of astral projecting, there's a lot of people who can do it and will not tell you they can do it. Why would you tell anyone that you can astral spy on them? So some of you feel this, and I'm not trying to make you paranoid because it's nothing that you need to pay mind to, but I'm letting you know when you sense it, just put your guard up, put your spiritual armor, and keep doing what you're doing and put on a show. But once again, if you have Gemini or Leo, we put on a show. Like people who astral spy on us, you know what I'm saying? We put on a show. We throw up the middle finger like, I know you watching me. I know what's good. Okay, I know what it is. And now listen, the whole notion that knowing what's happening, it's actually a good thing that you're not fully aware because this is a collective mainframe that by the time Uranus is in Gemini and by the time we have Saturn and Neptune in Aries, we will come to a point where almost the majority of people can see these. You will know. So the whole notion that most people are unaware is a good thing. It's totally normal. This is slowly evolving. So don't necessarily feel like there's a problem if you're not able to see it. Can you share a dream with your soulmates, twin flame, unintentionally? Absolutely. But just remember, okay, like I'm wanting to push this out here because some of you already feel that and you're making yourself feel like you're crazy. You're not crazy. It is okay that you don't have the full details. When a scientist makes a theory, they don't have the complete theory at first. And we've went through experimentation, Saturn and Sagittarius. Now we're going through testing, Saturn and Capricorn. And when Saturn is in Aquarius, it is now established as knowledge. So take your time with this, okay? Not everyone that's watching you is negative either. You have positive guides watching you. So I'm just introducing your mind to the concept so that you know, just as much as it's happening in real life with physical people, there are astral energies that are seeking to hold you back. And based on what I said, certain thoughts that you have are not your thoughts. Certain feelings that you have are not your feelings. So really spend this week practicing and learning how to be able to identify what feelings are yours and what feelings are others. Next, with this opposition of energy, don't be afraid to inadvertently piss some people off. And this is where I'm going to say, especially with Venus and Leo, some people are going to get super mad, okay? You may inadvertently tip over the big mad scale for people to become super mad. And yes, Eagle Eye. If you've never seen the movie Eagle Eye, that's your homework. Watch the movie Eagle Eye with Shia LaBeouf. And watch the movie Focus with Will Smith. Both of those will definitely give you great insight into how watched you can be. And think of it in a spiritual sense. The next abstract concept that I want to introduce you to is the concept of the spiritual police. And just like there is a real life Sarate, okay, don't think that this is the only dimension. Don't think this is the only reality. We're already experimenting with the possibility of parallel realities. So, you know, start to really think about the afterlife. Start to really think about the spiritual realm, because Cancer, the vibration of Cancer, is a portal. It is a gateway to the spiritual realms. And this groundwater trine we're stepping into is going to have you feel this like never before. Okay. So I want to let you know that you're being watched, but this is something that should fill you with courage, because you can take your power back and realize you're so much more powerful than ever. I don't want you to be like, oh my God, I'm being watched. Oh my gosh, I need to be very paranoid. No, you're so strong. The whole illusion is to make you feel like you're helpless. You want to know that there's greater energy around you and be like, yeah, I'm here. Who wants some? You're that powerful. Like, trust me. The illusion is that you're weak. The illusion is that you need to fear other entities. No, you're the one with the human vessel. If it was that way, entities wouldn't fight day and night to try and possess your body and chip away at your ideology, so that eventually you're a mindless drone that doesn't believe in itself, and then your emotions can just be possessed. Because that's what's happening more than ever right now. Demon possession, evil spirit possession, angelic possession, because not all these angels are good too. Possession is possession is possession. And it's those of you who are real, it's those of you who know who you are that are exposing the light of these people. And just like Under the Mystic Moon said, grasp your superpower. It's this Cancer energy that is going to help you understand powerfully how to do this, and through conflict and challenge, the sharpening of this. So now I am going to draw the super chat, okay? Yes, Lucifer definitely was an angel. People keep saying Lucifer is never an archangel. So be careful of people who think he's an archangel. Lucifer is a seraphim, which is like a god angel. It's not even a real angel. Another thing to keep in mind is angels are the air clan. Goddesses is more fire. So this whole propaganda about angels being little subservient people to gods, that's propaganda. Okay, originally there was the angel clan, and then there were the gods. Before humans were created, you had of course I pulled the devil card. Before humans were created, you had angels and you had gods. You had air and you had fire. The gods were more powerful than the angels, but the angels were more intelligent than the gods. And this is how they maintained their balance. It wasn't until the gods overthrew the angel clan, because the angel clan told the gods, hey, don't mess with the water clan. The water clan ain't right now. Don't mess with the water clan. And then, of course, they messed with the water clan. The water clan corrupted the fire clan because the water clan was a little corrupt, nothing against the water. And then, of course, fire turned against air and betrayed them. And now you have this stupid propaganda about angels being the servants of God. That pisses me off. All you air signs know what I'm talking about too. And you should feel somewhere deep in your soul the irkness of that. That's not true. Angels and gods are equal. Okay, the only difference, once again, angels don't have the strength and power that fire has, but they have the intellect. We're way more intelligent versus gods that might not necessarily be as smart, but they have the literal firepower. So a lot of this is being restored. Okay, water is finally being brought back into purity because the essence of water itself is pure. There's nothing more pure and good. But when water gets corrupted, it corrupts earth and it can corrupt fire. It doesn't reach air, and that's why air has to now care and like balance everything out. Okay, so really keep that in mind. I gave y'all a little story. Don't let these angels, don't let these people think that you God's servants. Nah, son. Nah, son. Got the game twisted. Got the whole damn game twisted. Okay? Anyway, I'm gonna have to see Weez put Beers in check. Here! All right, so Aries moon, Aries rising. We have the Five of Swords. Of course, you're going into battle. You're going into hella battle. It's interesting. Aries, it's almost as if you're working hard to put some stuff into motion and people want to hate on you. Aries, don't let that slide. Don't let that slide. Okay? Don't fight these people because they don't want peace and they're gonna waste your time. So just know you're dealing with people who want to antagonize you, but don't give them the right to. Just keep it moving. But I know you, Aries. You're gonna pick a battle, so just get ready, okay? Just know that you're the more powerful one here. Taurus moon, Taurus rising. We have the Knight of Swords. I guess you're gonna be leaping into battle too. The Knight of Swords is definitely speaking of Gemini energy that will very powerfully enlighten you to the truth. It's a lot of revolutionary action on your part, but I get the sense it's actual knight who wants to shock you with new information. Gemini moon, Gemini rising. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So there's a gift, there's a manifestation this week that's going to allow you to move forward into greater ground, especially for those of you working on any business plans. This is really awesome. Really keep your mind focused on what it is you're ready to bring into reality, because it's just going to be a total success. So congrats, Gemini. Cancer moon, Cancer rising. It is not easy being a Cancer. Cancer, you have to know that these dark forces want to kill you. They don't like you. The reason why is because without Cancer, darkness can't be brought to light. Sudden Cancer is going to say what you feel and show you. And so they have to kill you, Cancer, but they can't kill you without killing Aries and Gemini. And once they kill you, Cancer, then they can kill Leo. And once they kill Leo, no one will have love and the Antichrist will win. So we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a Scorpio counterpart that wants to anchor your emotional feelings in the compassion of its soul and definitely give you the courage to really feel deeper, okay? So really, this King of Cups is going to enter your life very profoundly. If they're not already in your life, really pay attention to what they have to say. Leo moon, Leo rising, you have the Eight of Cups. You're coming back home, you're walking away. You're in a position where you're separating yourself from that which does not resonate with you. But if you're walking away, it may seem disappointing, but you're walking towards your bliss, Leo. Okay, so know that everything you're walking away towards is everything you've been wanting. And don't give up now. Okay, be prepared to go on that spirit quest and journey. Some of you Leos, not all of you, some of you Leos are doing the damn thing. Some of you Leos, you don't want to trust spirit. You want it to happen to you. And spirit is saying, Leo, you need to walk away first so we can show you what it do. All right. Virgo moon, Virgo rising. We have the Tower card for you. And it's coming with, oh my God. It's coming with the Queen of Swords, but the Tower card is talking about like a complete reset. The reset button's going to be hit and just be in a position to adapt. All right, y'all. So, I hate to, all right. This is something only hashtag petty gang will get. Especially if you're a Gemini. Like, listen, Gemini wants to help you be petty. Like, evolve your pettiness, okay? You don't have to be insignificant. But trust me when I say, when people come at you getting big mad, because anyone who is wise, anyone who is compassionate and or smart can be in a position to let you know things civilly. Anybody who's in your face letting their emotions out, like wilding on you and getting them big mad, get them super mad. Like laugh in their face, get them super mad. Reflect back how hilarious what they're doing is. Is this mature? No, it's a Gemini, and you want to push. See, if you're not hashtag petty gang, you're just not gonna understand. Shout out to hashtag petty gang. Libra moon, Libra rising. We have the 10 of Cups. I see you, Libra. Okay, so you're definitely gonna be enjoying a lot of this happiness and bliss here, okay? And make sure you allow yourself to embrace a lot of positivity that you manifest this week. This is going to be great victory. Scorpio moon, Scorpio rising. We have the Hermit card. So really appreciate this time alone that you're given. It's going to do more than enough to very powerfully propel you forward, and if anything, also help you gain a powerful sense of inner wisdom. Trust your inner wisdom before others. For the notion of being astrally spied on, it's nothing you have to fear. Let this be strength for you, because the fact that people are obsessed with you enough to astrally spy on you just speaks loads. For those of you who feel that, and we don't have to be as extreme as saying astral spying. This could be as simple as having your social media stalked or spied on as well. All right. Sagittarius moon, Sagittarius rising. We have the King of Cups too, which is the card we had for Cancer. So this is definitely talking about emotional maturity. I think in your sense, this could be a friend who you connect with, who is able to help you understand more of your deeper feelings. I said, yeah, Hermit, stop freaking out when you smile. That's hilarious. Capricorn moon, Capricorn rising. We have the Justice card. So legal action will be taken. This doesn't have to even involve a court of law. This legal action could be your own sovereign will. So definitely stay on the right side of karma, because decisions that you make this week will equalize everything for better and not for worse. And it's important that you stay true to who you is. Aquarius moon, Aquarius rising. We have the Ace of Wands. I pull this for you a lot. So the Ace is talking, ooh, I got this with the Ace of Cups. Okay, Aquarius. You're definitely going to be manifesting very magical element of, oh no, this is really amazing. Because I see this comes with this right here, right? But then we also have this right here. So there seems to be some dramatic kind of victory you're stepping into. Passion and love in intense ways. Coconut Oil Angel said, sexy time. Oh, yes. Okay. I think that's cool because both Aquarius and Gemini got aces. Anyway, Pisces moon, Pisces rising. We have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords. Oh my God. It's talking about indecision, but it's also talking about compromise. So, really? Ooh, shadow hunters. Okay. Okay, shadow hunters, I channeled something from you. So Pisces, this is saying be very mindful who you trust. Not everyone has your best interests, because I get the sense there could be new love for you, but if in your heart you feel unsafe, it's because you're protecting yourself from ulterior motives. Just make sure you don't necessarily be too closed off that you don't hear people out. So other than that, shadow hunters, be mindful of the spirit police and the shadow hunters that seek to subjugate you with their own programming. All right, instead of just being real. Don't entertain any work of intimidation or spiritual attack. Shadow hunters want to expose your vulnerabilities and shadows and have you surrender when you are a sovereign being and you have to surrender to anybody. But listen, they always use fake and false light. People want to help you. People want to help you balance things. Trust your intuition when you feel a fraudness, okay? So I'm going to do the super chat right now. Mickey 2001, we have the Justice card for you. The Justice card and the Hermit card, which is talking about you not only trusting your inner guidance, but you also balancing a lot of your life, time, and energy so that you can clear up more power and room for yourself. Connie, the Knight of Pentacles says that you want to be reliable above all and dependable. Trust yourself on cutting them off, but if they're willing to be reliable, if they're willing to be dependable, give them that chance, because I feel like they might be in a position, since you're a lot more vigilant, to notice this and to also acknowledge it. Chad Taylor. No worries, Desiree Samuelson. No worries. Take your time. Chad Taylor, we have the Two of Pentacles, okay? The Two of Pentacles is talking about being productive. The Two of Pentacles is talking about keeping your mind on the money and dealing with ups and downs. So the more productive you are, the more focused you are on your work, the better, all right? Empress Daisy, we have the Hermit card. So this is definitely talking about having a much more private union. Your true love and you might be having a much more spiritually psychic connection, but this is saying that to connect to your true love, you need to connect within. So don't look for them outside. The deeper inside you go, the more you'll attract and find this person. Lily 626, we have the Four of Swords. So rest and relaxation is what you need. Spend the rest of today at that, just resting and relaxing your energy, okay? Charlie Mayher, we have the Eight of Wands. So prepare for swiftness of energy and for things to move very quickly and very fast, okay? Let Us Live, we have the Justice card. So advice on the Aries is to make things very clear. Make sure you are accountable. Make sure you point out every place he's being unfair or she's being unfair. and to hold both of you accountable, okay? Swirly 777, the strength card is saying to focus on your passions. You're going to gain much greater inner strength that you want to express out forward. Khalil Lewis, we have the Hermit card. So similar to Empress Daisy, you want to really trust your guidance. If you're connecting with anyone in love, keep it low key. Make this be something that's more personal to you and them, and not something everyone knows. Luna G, we have the Four of Wands. So prepare for great celebration and success and results and rewards for your hard and great work. Brown Brujita, the Hierophant, is saying you want to stick to the status quo. When it comes to career, find ways for what you're doing to be more acknowledged by established institutions. This is a card of schooling, but this is definitely going to talk about you integrating your knowledge into what you do so you can be more recognized. Shadow Hunters, we have the Eight of Cups. So walk away. Thank you, Rosalind. Walk away from that which doesn't serve you. You're ready to seek deeper meaning, okay? So definitely be prepared to go on a special adventure of your soul. Joa, the Alien Goddess. We have this Knight of Wands who is definitely someone who will be captivated. I knew it. It's someone who's going to be very captivated by your goddess energy. And they're going to see how ascended you are, and they're going to make a beeline to you. So bless this person with your knowledge. They're going to spice things up and make it fun, okay? Larry Jacko, we have the Queen of Swords, and we also have the Hermit. So this is talking about being introspective and professional, but I get the sense that a very reclusive, intelligent woman is going to take the forefront over the next 2 weeks, give you advice and guidance, but also impact your life positively. Miss Kiki, you're at a position in your life where you're definitely ready to open up much more powerfully. So your Cancer energy is going to empathically connect with people. And what you want to do is just very calmly use your charm to bring up emotional trauma people have and help heal them through conversation. KB Shang, we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is definitely talking about teamwork. You feel his emotions when he misses you, but interestingly enough, this is talking about working on a project together in order to ground your energy. So find some practical things that can be done to create more money for you both too. Miss Leo Scorp Aqua, we have the Hermit card. So what you can look forward to is greater discernment. You're going to be able to trust your inner wisdom so much better in ways that allow for a much more powerful energy to have you make independent decisions. And you want to embrace more your independence because it'll definitely be cool for you. King Capo, we have the, King Capo, we have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is talking about financial flow and the ability to also receive money if you need extra money. If you're in a position to help others, you can also play philanthropist as well. Beltangi, we have the Death card, okay? Or Beltangay, all right? I know you told me how to say it, but I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Is the G-E-Y like Bengay, or is it like G, like bungee? But anyway, Belle, we have the Death card for you. So this is talking about a transformation in love. Usually the Death card will come when it's the death of your single life. All right, so be prepared for this transformation. Mercedes, okay? We have the Knight of Swords. So he might be a little cray himself, but I don't think that he's a bad person. The Knight of Swords says he has a good heart. So if anything, just be prepared for a quick flow of energy to change around. Simone F, we have the Death card for you. So this is talking about transformation. Now, as far as a channeled message, this is also saying that you want to be prepared for your vibration to trigger the darkness out of other people. And now this makes sense why I got the Death card. Because what's going to happen, Simone, is whoever you're around, you're going to bring out their darkness and it's going to expose it, and then you're going to kill it and transform it. So it's almost like getting rid of attached entities on people and pointing out people's uncharacteristic behavior. Amorous Crespo, we have the Three of Wands, which is a Sun and Aries card. And this is encouraging you to stay true to your long-term plans and to make long-term plans, as well as to put things in motion that allow for greater enterprise in this. But your ships are definitely coming in. Blizzy boy in this thing. We have the Queen of Swords. So this is definitely a professional woman who wants to give you the right advice to direct forward in a much greater way your intent and where you're taking your life. Listen to her guidance, as it is very much helpful. Goddess Adorned, you're stepping into an awakening, and this is going to allow you to be a source of awakening for other people too, where you really help bring and shed light on where they're ready to take their life, and you just want to embrace this plutonic energy that will be coursing through you. Pamela Stephan, notice we have the Hermit card. So embrace, once again, this inner wisdom. I get the sense that you may personally end a certain thought and just go deeper within yourself to understand yourself in a greater way. Shafi Nibs, we have the Hierophant, but we also have the Devil card. So there is a greater wisdom of shadow, a shadow doctrine that you're going to really be coming into, as well as seeing through certain established organizations and looking at the dark side of them. So learn better ways to also integrate your shadow with this higher wisdom. Jesse Ladig, we have the King of Cups, which is encouraging you to be both compassionate and emotionally mature, but also to deal with the presence of an emotionally mature individual as well. Steph Dolphin, we have the Lovers card. So there's going to be great choice for you to embrace, opening up to greater sexual love, and definitely enjoy the opportunities that will arise over the next week. Rose, we have the Emperor. So the outcome with this double Virgo, there's a definite decision. It's control, it's rigidness, and it'll be great if you're okay with this extra rigidness. It is talking about stability, however. Sandy Lancaster, we have the Magician. So the message for Cancer season is to believe in your potential and to use your skills. You have everything you need to harness these skills. So definitely utilize them to manifest whatever you want. As above, so below. Miss Mean Sanchez, we have the Hierophant for you. Definitely pay attention to the status quo. What is the traditions you're having to embrace? Play and read by the rules, as this will help you the most. Dark Raw Indigo, we have the Page of Pentacles. So focus a lot on how you're branding yourself and working on your health, but beware of temptation that will come up in order to stop you as well. Lex, we have the King of Cups for you as well with the Star. So this is definitely talking about you getting ready to meet your soulmate. Whenever the Star and the King of Cups come, a soulmate counter is imminent. So very much so embrace this, because it's going to be a very rejuvenating experience. Sharon Andrea, we have the Hermit card for you too. So it's saying to trust your inner guidance. If you go deep inside yourself, there's an awakening key. And this has a lot to do with what you've been telling yourself versus what other people have been telling you. And you realizing that you're way more right. Which makes sense because you're the Aquarius. Dara D, we have the Two of Swords, which is saying to compromise. Make sure you make more logical decisions over emotionally viewed ones, okay? Beautiful Disaster. We have the Judgment card. The Judgment card is talking about awakening, but it's also talking about being guided to your higher purpose. This may, if anything, regard a change in residence. So be prepared to move around a little bit, even if just for a road trip. Rosalind Brown, we have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is saying to really make an enlightened decision and use your quick multitasking ability to definitely change the situation. This Knight of Swords reflects somebody who will do just that with you. Sakura Okami, we have the Six of Cups. Do I need to try harder to get a better job or what? This is definitely talking about connecting with the soulmate and making your environment more comfortable. So Cancer season will do what it can to actually heal this for you. So thankfully, you won't have to really look for one, okay? Killer Thriller. I keep on getting the King of Cups. Let me pull another one. We have the Chariot card. The Chariot card is talking about control and momentum in a very powerful way that will very greatly help you gain victory. So definitely, all perspectives, definitely trust your inner wisdom and don't back down on the momentum. Miss Meme Sanchez. So the random person I picked for a channeled message is all perspectives. Okay, all perspectives and Seth Brundle. For both of you, really be mindful that your first intuition is the correct intuition, because you may not necessarily be paying attention to what your intuition is saying, and you want to trust the first thing said. The card that I have for all three of you, including Miss Meme Sanchez, is the Seven of Pentacles. So you've already put things in motion. All you have to do is just allow it and give it time in a long-term way to manifest. Jessica Ambrosio, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. So it's totally, you're going to gain a gift this week, and it's going to manifest pretty rapidly. I get the sense that there might be someone who can help you actually also, you know what I mean, put into motion a lot of what you want to build. The Ace of Pentacles is a really great gift, though, and it's a healthy beginning that will attract the right influences. The K Purdue, we have the Three of Wands for you, which is encouraging you to continue looking at your drafts. Your ships are coming in, so really focus on a lot of your long-term plans moving forward. And I also have the Moon card and the Hermit card. The Moon card and the Hermit card are saying that you have very deep inner wisdom that seems like illusions. It's an inner world you have, and this inner world will reflect in the outside. Both of these cards are my tarot birth cards, so I'm very familiar with it. Embrace your own inner psychic ability to where you're going to have secrets and know things that other people won't know, because your perception of the world is fundamentally different than most others. Michelle Wallace, we have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is definitely talking about you not only speaking your truth, but you also coming into a great epiphany and rejuvenating great victory. This is a fascinating combination here. So congratulations, your wildest dreams are ready to come true because you speak your truth and open that door. KRA, we have the Three of Wands. We have long-term plans that you want to set in motion and assured material gain. So a lot of what you plan for will have great returns. This is overall just really talking about very powerful advancement due to your hard work. So congratulations. Megan Shao, we have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is talking about soulmate encounter with someone from your past or someone romantic. There's nostalgia that will be brought back up, and this is definitely going to allow you at a much greater level to really perfect this. This is going to happen to you, so it's going to feel good. The K Purdue, that makes so much sense. Practicing telepathy. I'm glad you did that. Like, your psychic ability is going to master itself through you. So no one can teach you. You're going to teach yourself, and you're already mastering it, okay? Alexa Abad. So in order to circumvent this toughness that you've been going through, Alexa, you want to personally heal people. So your healing energy is activating, and it's allowing you to take in some energy. I recommend doing a 33-day ritual that I have on my YouTube channel. You can look up the video, 33-day ritual Q&A, the live one I did, but also heal people. Activate your healing energy and just feel healing energy coming out through your hands and healing people, whether through distance or physically. And the more you heal them, the more this is going to help release negative energy from you and heal you as well. Connie, am I right on breaking ties with my best friend? If when you broke those ties, you felt a release and you felt lighter, you were right. If you feel wrong about it, do what you can to kind of patch things up with your best friend, if they truly are your best friend. Okay. Mike, we have the Seven of Cups and the Death card. So there is a bit of an illusion, or there is a bit of some tendencies and fog that's going to transform forever. Especially if you found yourself a bit confused, and what's going to be outside behind the smoke is your wishes come true. So kind of, if you find yourself looking at a myriad of options, dead it all. No longer look at them. And once you kind of stop, then what will be left is what you really wanted. Astro Dim 7, you are not doing anything wrong. Okay, we have the Four of Wands. If anything, you're doing everything right. It's speaking of results for your hard work, and it's definitely wanting you to embrace a lot of the positivity that you're here to celebrate. So just be grateful. In order to activate the Four of Wands, gratitude brings greater attitude to receive what is for you. MTTG, we have the Death card for the, so there's great transformation that's going to be occurring in your life. However, this transformation is going to be happening through you. So you're going to be an agent of death, that people come to you when they're ready to change and transform, okay? Amara, Miss Goddess of Darkness here. The card that we have for you is the Four of Wands too. So you're addressing a lot of shadows, but your hard work, you're going to get results from, okay? And not only results, this is going to bring new love. This is going to bring stronger connection to your community. Do what you can to stay grateful for the positive, because you've been so focused on the shadows, you may not know that you're going to get a huge victory right now this week. AMP, what's most important right now? The Ace of Wands is saying sparking new energy. There's new opportunities that are going to come. I think someone who's famous or very influential is going to recognize you, and they're going to give you the opportunity of a lifetime. So what's important right now is, what is the thing that you most want to do right now? What are you ready to spark? Because this is here for you to embrace quite powerfully. Really great two cards to end with. I'm definitely going to bond on that too. Y'all stay blessed as usual. And definitely be prepared. This is a week where you're going to get, this is so Gemini, it's mutable. Like, you're going to get the good, but it's to prepare you for the quote unquote bad, because there's nothing truly good or bad. Okay, so you're all day this week is going to be empowering, but it's to prepare you for war. So don't get so caught up in your victories that you forget it's for something serious. Okay, and until next week, beloveds,